record. Hello, our UHC community. Amanda and I are hopping on here real quick to share exactly how Slack works and how we can utilize it within our group. So to get started, you can sort on your left-hand column. It's very similar in the app versus this version, which is in a browser on a computer. You can sort by unread. So anything that you haven't seen, if you're like, oh, what have I missed? It should be here. You can sort by threads. So for example, in our Friday meetups from today, these were the threads that were broken in. And this was the agenda thread. This was the, thread that Morgan created because she's had to miss. Here's the mastermind threads. So you can sort by threads, and then you can also create drafts. You can schedule. So if you have this like epiphany thought and you're like, I'm going to schedule this to go out in a week or whatever, you're welcome to do that and like schedule things and create drafts. So those are just kind of the basics, how to get to things quickly. And then there are channels that Amanda's going to talk about.
Right. So our channels are where we're dividing up communication and our specific group oriented goals and events and that kind of stuff that we're working on, as well as meetings. So collaborations, what we want under anything under this one is whoever's working together. If you have an upcoming event and you're looking to find somebody else to work with you, I think Latalia had asked that question in one of the last ones. Who else would be interested in collaborating? Those are great things to put under the collaboration side of it. Also as reminders of who's working together, or if you're working with somebody with an event, those specific events would go underneath that channel itself for upcoming events. So this can be where you double kind of work getting your events scheduled. Community resources are, we had gone into that one, PDFs, different things that we can all kind of print off, use in our practices, information that we can hand to clients if they're looking for information on here. I think we can also do kind of a post in here too. If you're looking for some sort of a specific resource, this would be a good place to ask that. If somebody has that, a pre-done flyer or a website or something, suggestion to go to. Friday meetup minutes. This is where you're going to find all of the minutes from each one of our monthly meetings in here. Melissa, you want to break that down even further?
Sure. So like Latalia is going to post a text or a message right here that says, here's the meeting minutes. And then when you look at in the thread, so here, if you just click view thread, you'll see there's the actual minutes. And then Mary Catherine wasn't there, so she had a comment on the minute. So if you have questions, comments, anything like that, you use this thread to respond and reply so that it kind of keeps it clean. So if you're looking in the future and say like, I want to look 2 months ago and see the minutes, you can click here and they'll all pop up. So that's kind of how
easy way to reference that.
Yeah.
Exactly. And then the difference between the meetup minutes and the actual Friday meetups, is where we're going to keep the information of I'm not going to be able to make it, information on that potluck that we did out through that thread, the agenda as well. We'll go ahead and post that in the meetup so you guys all have that ahead of time as well. And so, yeah, go ahead and break that down similar, Melissa.
Yeah, so I will post as like one of the meeting hosts for the next 3 months. I'll post the agenda, and then if you click in the thread, you'll see the agenda and any needed resources. And if you actually click this link, it'll take you to an app called Notion, which is also like I don't know how to describe that. It's like a interface, like an organizational system that you can use for collaboration. So it's almost like Google Drive, but enhanced. And this will take you to like the vision mission. So it's an easy access resource to vision and mission, and share with guests in here as well. So this link exists here, and we'll probably put it in our like bio somehow too, so it doesn't disappear. And then any questions that pop up about that, like Elena and Mary Catherine commented here, like this is a great place to respond to questions if you have any in advance before the agenda. So that's kind of what it's going to look like. It's going to be pretty basic in this Friday meetup. And just reply to the meeting that we're talking about, like the agenda. If there's comments, questions, anything like that, that helps kind of keep this clean. And then general.
Yeah, this is kind of open. This can be kind of a miscellaneous place for different things.
Right.
Yeah, random questions. Mastermind, this one is going to be specific on mastermind questions that we can collaborate together or work together for the benefit of a client patient that we're kind of addressing. Keep in mind too, if it's specific to a client patient side of it, I know you guys are all really good about this, but don't put names in there, just as far as keep it HIPAA compliant on that side of it.
Yep.
So, and then Slack resources, this is where this video is going to be placed in here. Questions. I had mentioned in today's meeting about the videos and a link into the help center for Slack. We'll go ahead and create a link and post those in there as well. So if you're stuck or needing questions or something's not working, then definitely go to that channel. Social links should all be everybody's social media, meetup groups, LinkedIn profiles, website information. That'll get added to. If you haven't already put in your information in there, quick resources for everybody to go back and pull up. And for new members as well to go in and add their information. So we have them. Upcoming events, anything that's coming up. And this is a good place for that scheduling side of things to go into. So if you have upcoming events, but maybe you have a specific date that you're launching it or putting it in there or want it to come out, go ahead and schedule that to repost in there as well, so that everybody gets a new notification that this is all happening.
Yeah.
Or whichever that is.
And then this is another way also to directly contact anyone that's in our group. So if anyone is in here and you're like, oh, I don't have their cell number handy, I'm not sure how to get that, like message them via Slack. You can always exchange cell numbers via Slack and then text each other. But this is a great way also to create collaborative messages or group messages that are pertain to like some type of collaboration or event that you also are creating together. You can do it also within Slack. So then it's all housed in one spot and not lost in your text messages. Like me, I'm guilty of having a text and then it's like, I read it and then I never respond and then it's gone like out of my mind. Right.
Yeah. I do want to say too, on that direct messages, there's a nice feature in here that you can direct message yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you have different things that you want to post or thoughts or random notes or in the meeting, if I need to call this person back or I need to send them an email or an introduction email to somebody else, use that option to send yourself a message, and then that can pop back up to and do a remind yourself once you get back to your office or at another time. It's really, really awesome. I use it all the time.
Yeah. And how you can remind yourself, like you can save it for later and it'll pop up in your save for later options. You can have it remind me about it tomorrow. Right. And then it'll remind, etc. So there's a lot of features. If you just play around with these different clicks, you'll see there's all different things that you can.
The forward button on there too, go back a little bit, Melissa. There's a forward piece in there. Yeah, forward message. So if you're typing out a letter or something that you want to get off to somebody and it's not complete yet, or you had to stop in the middle, you can actually go back and then forward that to whoever you're wanting to talk to it about.
Yeah. So you're
not having to double. Yeah, there's no copy and paste. You can just direct forward.
Absolutely. Yep. And Latalia is doing direct messaging right now. So perfect. Okay. So if you click on your little letter or picture, I haven't put a picture on mine, but if you click right here in the bottom corner, you can see your preferences. And I want to show you this one last thing. These are all your notifications. So if you want desktop notifications to pop up and alert you on your computer, you can. You can be notified just about specific things when you're mentioned, or you can turn off all notifications. So that is totally up for you. You can change settings based on your phone versus your computer. So if you do want notifications on your computer and you don't want them on your phone, there are different ways that you can adjust those settings. And then at the bottom, we had a question about I mean, right here you can do a dump of notifications. You can do different sounds, all that stuff. So play with these features. But we did have a question about email notifications. And so this is where you can turn those email notifications on or off. And you can select, like, you know, if I've inactive for 30 minutes, email me any mentions or direct messages that I miss. So if you don't keep Slack open, which I'm assuming most of us probably don't on a regular basis, have it open notifying you all the time, you at least can get notifications for anything that has happened that is a mention of your name or a direct message for you. So I think it's one of those things that you kind of just have to get in a habit of, like, referring to Slack, thinking about, okay, this week is our, you know, Unified Healthcare Connector meeting. So here's the Slack, like check in on the Slack. So we hope that this clarifies anything. Please reply in right here, our Slack channel, if there are questions, because we're happy to help. And then we will do a little Q&A in January with everything and clarify anything that is needed. So I think that's it. Anything else, Amanda?
Nope, I think that is pretty much it. You really can't screw anything up on this, so don't be afraid to get in and play around with it. And they have a really awesome help center too, just off of slack.com. Or their little help button that Melissa just hit, that has videos and wording. And I think they address it to all learning styles in this. So there's nothing that you can mess up that we can't come back from. So don't be afraid.
Absolutely. Okay. Thanks, guys.